doing this beautiful field, which I started last year, and the homes will begin. So the coyotes and the deer and all the other animals will be removed. Hope you all are well. Happy Saturday. Just going to improvise here. I'll get into the market. Bear with me for those jumping on. I think this is an interesting thing that I'm going to improvise and talk about. Then I'll get into the market real quick. But I want to tell a quick little story, which I think is a pretty valuable lesson in life of, and I'm not going to rip on anyone today except for one person. I'm not even going to rip on him. I'm going to, look, most crypto YouTubers, you can't find out their moral convictions, where they truly stand, because they come in, they talk about the market, they seem nice, or they seem a jerk like Alex Becker or something like that, which is pompous and all that, and then they get off. But then you have someone like myself who kind of tells, I have no followers or anything, but it's all good. I have a few of my community, and I love you all. But you have someone like me where where my moral convictions stand, and the person I'll be talking about, their moral convictions. Hey, Skull, bear with me, brother. I'm going to tell a quick little life lesson here, a little story. Then I'm going to improvise. I was thinking about it while I was running. I'm going to go into it. I think it's pretty important. And you have this person I'm going to talk about, his story real quick, where you wouldn't know his stances on life and how he lives his life and everything if he didn't share everything and go off on rants. But I think there's a big life lesson to learn from this person. So this is someone who went from completely irrelevant to the biggest crypto YouTuber there is, to complete irrelevance again. So it's Ben Armstrong, yes, as we know, and but I think it's who cares about him? No, I don't. But I think it's a complete incredible story, because you could see this about true public figures, not a crypto YouTuber, right? That mean nothing. Here's a guy who I happened to start watching when he was doing videos in his closet. He was just a pudgy, fat, high voice at the time before he started screaming. Guy who did it in his closet, had no followers, was humbled, somewhat humble, wore jerseys all the time, had people on to interview, and really had some heart in it and effort. And then ended up coming back in the market early, then sold at a loss. You shouldn't have sold. Yeah, bear with me. Let me get through this, and I'll answer all questions and discuss everything you want. But I'm going to kind of ignore the chat for a minute while I put this out there. So you have this guy ready to quit. Then he met a couple of people, and we started getting into, pre-COVID, started getting into a bull market. And all of a sudden, his channel started to grow. Here he was going to quit, but he got some life built into him. And all of a sudden, as he gets more and more reviews, more and more subscribers, and the picks he's doing are correct, and all the gambling he's doing, because he's a true degenerate drug addict, and that's okay. But I'm just stating the facts. True drug addict. Didn't, he went out and told you this. If you watch his old videos that may be erased, couldn't provide any living for his family. I mean, when they would go on trips, he couldn't even pay. His family had to. He had a couple businesses that failed. And, hey, Matt, I got it. Yeah. But then he started getting popular and started getting money from YouTube. And got enough subscribers where the community started giving them money for his picks. And as we know, for the new people who don't know, in a bull market, majority of what you touch, unless it's a meme, goes up. Okay? Goes up. And then the ego started building. And you could see it slowly happening. He started getting more popular, started hiring more people. And Metal will know this, he started trying to grow too fast, and all of a sudden the bills came up. And as we know now, he didn't even have control of his finances because, had such bad credit, so he let people take advantage and run the company. Well, he was the spokesman, and you thought the chief in charge. But then the arrogance kept going. Let's add more people. And people would ask questions. Hey, where's Polygon going? $5. Without even thinking about it. He was just, $5. Not looking at anything, just throwing numbers out there. And some of the picks he was doing were getting, hey, in 2 weeks, Cardano's going to get to $1. And by chance, it would. Then more shows came, and people would question him, like on, he was totally against XRP, and then it turned, and he would have these shows, and people would say something, and he would say, "That's a good point, but you're wrong." And the arrogance just kept going, more and more. Nothing you could say to him, kind of like this Bob at Crypto Angler, nothing you could say to him was correct. He knew everything. Everything you said was wrong. Everything he thought and said was right. Then the clothes started changing. And the anger started coming out. Someone talked about a green dot doesn't mean shit. And he starts going off and going crazy. And his voice starts changing because he's screaming so much. And he wanted a deeper voice. So he got harsher and harsher. And all of a sudden, raspy, his voice lowered an octave. This is BitBoy, Ben Armstrong. And it's relevant. This is not a rip on him. This is a story on life. And all of a sudden, this guy was, their company started investing in real estate and buying stupid land in the metaverse, talking about, the metaverse. And this is going to be, we're buying by Snoop Dogg. And it's going to be, they're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for land in make-believe fairy tale game. And NFTs, JPEGs, buying JPEGs for, $400K a pop. And then having this new shows on around the blockchain and 4 people on it, but no one knew more than him. Started spending money like crazy, buying Gucci, buying Lamborghinis, all of a sudden lost sight. And the arrogance got bigger. And the meanness came out. And the ego got huger and huger, out of control. Started traveling a ton. And then the channel would get away from crypto. It would take about 30 minutes for him to get into crypto. It was about the Atlanta football teams, baseball teams, hockey, his son's game, or him just going off on whatever it was. Let me tell you, when you get to channels like mine right now, like I'm doing, people get bored. They want get to crypto and shut the fuck up and get with it and get out. You have to wait 30 minutes, and then he would say one thing about crypto, and then boom, go off on something else, right? His voice was the only voice to hear in his mind. Wasn't going to listen to anyone. Started traveling, started doing books. Did some incredible videos in regards to, he didn't write any of them. He started hiring good writers and started doing videos for newbies. And there were a couple great ones explaining crypto to new people and what it's all about. And, it was great. But then he started, talking, he was a hunter and, started talking about what he does outside of work. And you could see that his morals were not there. He was an open book, which can be good and can be bad. You're an open book. You're going to invite unwelcome comments. And so as his ego got larger and larger, and he traveled more and started moving away from crypto and the majority and trying to get involved in politics. And, I'm this powerful. I need to raise this. I need to do this. And started asking you guys for money. Then he wasn't asking you for money. Tons of sponsors, tons of that. And then gone. And it just kept growing. And he kept getting more and more full of himself. And while the boss is away, the mice will play. So while he was out doing, I can only speculate. Could you imagine working for a guy like that? He would jump in on other people's shows or call in, and he knew everything. Arguing with other hosts. I remember him calling into Pomp's show, and wouldn't even talk. He screamed the whole time. He did a debate with a Bitcoin maximalist. Screamed at him the whole time, name calling. He just got abusive and mean. Yeah, no one likes Gary Gensler, but he just was going crazy on Gensler and everything. Just screaming about these guys, just getting ugly with them. Kind of like what I do sometimes. But nothing like him. And you could tell his mind was losing it. Then started going down the conspiracy route a little too much. As his ego grew and the so-called abuse he was doing within his organization, they had enough of it. I don't know who's right or wrong in this situation. That's not what it's about. But then he loses everything. You find out he's a cheater. And look, people leave their wives, people leave their husbands. But, then he tried to fool you and come up with a Ben coin, bought that and tried scamming people. Desperation. That's where his true moral convictions come into play, and it shows you the type of person he was. Now, I never cared for the guy. I don't care for hunters, even though some friends, good people, but he was very close-minded, and you could tell an abusive type of individual. Then boom, you think he's smacked down to reality, making videos, him crying with his wife. Within 2 weeks, he's back on with his wife, trying to build a channel, begging you for money. The ego is gone. Within 2 more weeks, he's renting a building, failing. He's got some of his, he said he was getting rid of BitBoy. He's a grown man. It's embarrassing to be 40 years old and be called BitBoy. He's back to that because he's desperate. And then he cries again. I'm not making any money. I've lost everything. So he quits for a week, starts fighting. So you get the picture. If you let ego drive you, unless you're Donald Trump, who is a failure, but he's able to win, it'll catch up to you. Be humble. I know we're a male-driven society and world, and so many people love this hard-nosed, tough, eccentric, male dominance type of thing. To me, it's despicable. We need those people in the military and to run the country and everything, but if you let your ego get to you, it'll catch up. And you find out who your family and friends are on the way down, not on the way up. I've seen this happen with so many people in business, and the ones who treat people good on the way up, when something happens, everyone around them, for the most part, you have some users, are there to catch you and hold you up. This guy deserves everything he got. You say, I'm vegan, I should be compassionate. I am compassionate for people who are innocent and learn a lesson. If he would have learned his lesson, now look, what he did to his family is inexcusable. And what some of these allegations are, he was just spending money left and right. You could see he would do it on air. He learned nothing, is my point. You have to learn something. So I could keep going off. It's just, I was thinking about that today. I'm thinking about, here's a guy who, on YouTube, had it all. Had a new home. Did everything his family needed. Who came from nothing. And he squandered it away over ego. And over being a mean, unethical person. If you're unethical, in my view, it will catch up to you at some point. Well, there's many it doesn't. Look at Putin. Look at Trump. Look at Elon Musk. But when you're on your deathbed alone, you only have your conscience. Anyways, that's all I got on that. All right, now let's see if I can read these. Let's talk about the economy real quick. And welcome, brothers and sisters. Shit, I can't see a damn thing. It's so bright. Wanted to talk about the economy because you would think that the data that we had would be good for crypto. Are we in a recession? No, we're not. Now, I listen to, I always say I listen to a ton of YouTubers who think they know about the economy, but they're on YouTube. That is their job. They clock in, and they do videos, and they clock out. Well, not me, not all of you. You're in the real world. You see it. There has been a slowdown for a year. It takes, with all the rate hikes they've done, it takes anywhere from a year to 2 years for that to kick in to the economy. And that's what it's doing. Unemployment ticking up. Jobs are becoming fewer and fewer. They're still out there, but trust me, I talk to a ton of recruiters. Coming harder and harder. Employers are waiting on rates. No one, look, I deal with $1 million projects, $100,000 projects. A lot of them are halted. They're moving forward, but you're not going to get an order. They're moving forward in the design, the engineering, but you're not getting the as much orders, and because they're waiting on interest rates. They're waiting to see what happens in the Middle East. People say that's not a big deal. It's a huge deal. Okay. Why? Petroleum. Uneasiness in the Middle East is a huge deal, right? Do I think Iran will strike back hard? You would think not. You never know. I mean, they don't want a full on a war with Israel. Israel will obliterate them. And you would think this would be good news for crypto, because Powell's going to need to lower rates. That's true, but it is overshadowed by bad data. Now we'll have to see what the data is this month, showing up next month for this month. And this is not sideways actions. It's definitely sideways action on Bitcoin, has been, but all the alts, it's bear market downward trend. And I've been buying more proppy on the way down. That's okay. So there's a true softening of the market. It happens every election cycle. Before an election, do I think Trump will be better for business than Harris? Yes. Economy-wise, it's a mental thing, and they are more pro-business. There's no doubt. But it's an uneasy time. I would not be selling at a loss right now for people who are writing. So let me look at some comments. Damn, it's hard to read. Exactly like him. Yeah. Who is that guy? Yeah, I read that. Sorry, it is like impossible to see because it's so sunny. Land in the metaverse. Yeah, crazy. I mean, who bought that? I just laughed with that and all the JPEGs. People were buying the NFTs. I'm sorry. It was just foolish. But, you in retrospect, you could look at buying anything. It was foolish. Altcoins before, the bear market. But no one knows when the bear market's happening. Guy had a lot of money at one point. Yeah, he showed the portfolio once. It was the company portfolio. It was like 24 million. And I appreciate that he did that. He was the only YouTuber who showed exactly what they had. So I commend him on a lot of the videos. I just, I think he's a moral, unethical guy. You never truly know someone. I mean, obviously he's morally unethical, but I'm not here to judge. I mean, I do judge. We all judge. Either judge or lying about judging, right? Everyone judges. I'm just speaking. I don't kick people when they're down. He's not down. He says he is, but, he's done nothing to repent and truly change. So you can't feel bad for a guy like that, which I don't at all. He's not a good person. He had a ton of money. Yeah, going after Kevin O'Leary, going after Elon Musk, going after Elizabeth Warren, going to wherever he was in the Caribbean or whatever, going after Sam Bankman-Fried. I mean, come on. It's crazy. And now he's a complete crazy lunatic. If it was someone you cared about, you would say it was sad. This is just a train wreck that's interesting to watch. I can't barely listen to the guy, but I will just to see the craziness that comes out of his mouth. But it's a true lesson in learning for people who come from nothing and get successful. Now, there's a million people you could take this story from. In rock, in the movies, all that stuff, right? River Phoenix, Robert Downey Jr., a lot of people who lost their lives, a lot of people who almost lost their lives and made it then, but I'll keep it short and sweet for you. BitBoy is what selling your soul looks like. Yes. It's 100% right. Absolutely. Sorry, these might be old comments. Called that woman child. God, I wish I could read this shit. I wish I could make it brighter. Oh, yeah, yeah. All these comments I can't even read, so forgive me. I need to find some shade. Let's see if that helps. There we go. Not really. I haven't sold anything, but yesterday I was about to. But now I just made a list of stocks and cryptos to buy. Yeah, just be careful. I mean, to me, if you're in the loss, it depends on how much you're losing, right? Like PNG, glad I sold that. Stacks, I'm glad I sold that. There's many, circuits of value. Thank God I sold that. That gone down to like 0.03, not even a penny. Got killed. People saw a recession. I had Bitcoin. Oh God, I'm sorry. It's just impossible to freaking read in the sun. People say a recession might not be bad for Bitcoin, but it will be. It's a high risk asset. Yeah, true. Initially it is. But, it's not a hedge yet. It's a hedge for like Michael Saylor and the big boys. And for me and for you who buy it, it is a good hedge. If you can wait, you just got to play the waiting game, Everyone who bought it at 15, 20, 8,000, 3,000, like I did, like many of you did, it's a great hedge. Better than a bank account, but people are going to, majority of people take it out, put it into bonds, or, if they're lowering interest rates, no one's going to be flooding into bonds. But it sure the hell will come out of crypto initially. And it's not like there's going to be stimulus money, right, this time. So you have to remember, our last bull run, we had so much stimulus money that it got poured into crypto. Poured into it, I mean, we hit $3,000 and it was off to the races, $1,600 checks here, $1,600 there, $1,000 a week for unemployment. For people who are making $50, they were, paid to stay at home. But it is a risk asset. I have to say, blockchain backer is still a shill. Yeah. He puts out the same type of Hope videos. Yeah, Hope. Okay, I'll talk about that God I am in a second. I used to love that guy. Ando is looking good to buy. Yes, I agree. Also, I would buy more property. Oh, you're freaking buying property. Yeah, I've been loading up. So I agree with you. The shill, who's brutal, I don't want to get on a rip session, but like Wendy and all that, they've all lost their morals. Anyone who's shilling sponsors, even Lark, he doesn't care about you. He's just making his videos. You can tell. Seems like a nice enough guy, but if you watch him, the Q&A and everything, he just doesn't care. He's sponsored this, sponsored that. Now look, they got to make a living. If this is their living, that's one thing. But don't ever think for 1 second that they care. And the shilling is just too much. I will never, ever, ever do that. Even if I keep this channel or not, which I will. I mean, even if I get too busy, I'll try to make videos here. My goal is just to answer questions or help or have a conversation. Yeah, shill, when people, ran, it was just brutal. Sniper Group, Whale Group, all these guys. I mean, it's just so, I think he's the largest now. It's so pathetic that people fall for that stuff. And Gummy and all the scams he's putting out. I'm sorry. Anyone who puts out meme coins, it's a scam. If you don't think they're making money off of it, you're crazy. Why would they? I mean, they're not doing it out of the great goodness of their heart. They're just not, because their portfolio is taking a beating, and he has high bills to pay for his work, and probably bought a couple of mansions. I mean, don't fall for that. I know you guys don't. Michael Saylor is just a character, a main stage puppet. Yep, not even a real person. The whole space is corrupt. I'm done with it, to be honest. Way too manipulated. So it's okay being done with it, but I think you will miss out in the long run. It's frustrating. I understand. You have to take a different approach. If you really want to make money, there's money to be made. But no one knows when that's going to happen, right? Because we are in a bear market. It will most likely come back. But we've had all these factors that just keep pushing us down. And the truth of the matter is, it is manipulated and it's immature. But so is the stock market. You're talking to a guy who was in the stock market for 20 years. It's manipulated by the big boys. I was in 30-year bonds in the pit. It's all you could see one, multi millionaire driving down the price in bonds. I used to be in there and they would start selling, and next thing you know, it's down 10 points and he's buying it back or doing a spread. I won't go into the spread, but basically the spread in bonds, let's say you're buying 1 month and selling another month, that's a spread. You're buying March and selling April, that's a spread, and you can actually trade that. It's just legalized gambling. I started off in the soybean room, the grain room, soybeans and oats and all that, and it was all old people making a fortune. There we go, I can read now. Yeah, man, the only time I'm willing to buy back the time once it actually also exactly. Let me comment on that. If it begins and only after it begun, I am only buying Caspa. I got wrecked on memes. Yeah, stay out of my personal opinion. Stay out of memes. Don't just buy Caspa. There's a lot of good things out there. But as you know, all these channels will tell you, you're gonna miss out. This is when you buy. This is when. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with DCAing, but here's the problem with it. Here's the problem with my portfolio. Okay, the truth of the matter is, I've always said we were in a bear market, but I did not think we were going to be getting hit like this. This is not good. So all the things I've been DCAing in, the truth of the matter is they may not come back, and I may be screwed on many of them. But here's the truth: I know the other ones I'm in will make up for that. I know that. Solana's not going away. Okay, Ethereum's not going away. Do I own any Ethereum? Yeah, a little bit. Am I buying it here? Hell no. Am I going to buy Ethereum? Nope. Got down to $1,000? Yeah, I'd buy 100 grand worth. But I'm not buying it above 1,400. Not happening, and it's not getting down there. So there is nothing wrong with buying in the green when the market begins. I'm not one of those who say you have to buy in the red and, buy in fear and sell in greed. That's a good thought. It's a load of shit. You want to, if you've been listening to Rand, Discover Crypto, all those guys, Bob at Crypto Angler, who has no fucking clue at all. Oh, we're not going to go below 69,000. Look where we're at. We're not going to go below 64,000. Look where we're at. This is a sell-off because of the conference. I mean, people just don't have a clue. They want you to keep watching, so they'll tell you what you want to hear. These are great buys. This is bullish. When you hear someone say this is bullish, change the channel. They just want you to be in there, buy their stuff. The truth is, you don't know where it's going to go. There's nothing wrong with buying in the green because it has momentum. And once the market turns around, you'll know. Our volume will be 100K every day. You'll see, you got to go by volume. And then when we hit the 170K every day, 170 billion, I'm sorry, billions we're talking, then we're there. But none of that will happen until Bitcoin blows through 75K to 80. None of that. None of it. Got wrecked on all the old coins too, like XRP, XCD, okay, XOM. Yeah. So XRP I own at 17 cents. The others I don't have. You only get truly wrecked when you sell, right? I have AMP at 6 cents, a couple $100,000 worth. Got almost to 2 pennies this year. I just was looking to break even on it. But because we've been downward trending, it was following Jasmy, back down below a half a penny. I'm holding on. There's no reason for me to sell right now. I don't need the tax write-off at this moment. Exactly, man. That's why I got out at a loss twice. It hurts, but I held from April 21 once before, and I'll never go through that again. I don't blame you. It took a toll on my life. I'm sorry. AIOZ is resisting strong. Yeah, AIOZ has been wonderful. I own that at a penny. It has been great. I was worried for a time, and it still might get wrecked. We got down to like 43 cents, and then it was trending up 65 cents, but we just get hit again. So back to you, God I am. I'm sorry you went through that. Please, 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 and you know this, don't risk more than you can lose. Don't ever take a loan. Don't put your life in the hands of this investing. Your life is more valuable than your pocketbook, okay? You can get it back, I promise you. I've seen it a million times. I lost like $6 million when I was 29, okay? In the stock market. I've told that story In the past, I'm not going to go into it now. It took its toll on me. I'm 52 now. Don't let it. Don't risk more than you can lose. No, I know we don't want to lose $100. I don't even want to lose $1. That's why I do Coinbase One. I don't even like to spend $1 on commission. I won't buy Proppy right now because I want to buy it at $1.23, and I've been buying it like at $1.24. I won't buy it at $1.25. Isn't that crazy? A penny. That's how we are. You hate to give up a penny because I want my average to be at a certain level. It's nuts, but it's what we do. That's what was wrong with what I did. I invested everything I had at one point. Oh, Jesus. Well, you'll get it back. Stay with us. Stay with us on this. I'll try, when we start turning around, I've been quiet on the videos and my subscribers are dropping off and everything. That's okay. I'm not doing it for that. Do I want a couple thousand subscribers and all that? Would be great. But the way I do YouTube, it's not going to happen. Get some dry powder. Do what you can, and you'll be ready. I'm telling you, we're going to have a market. It may not be for 2 years or a year, or it may be in a month. Okay? I know that sounds crazy. Oh, we're either going to go up or down, right? No, I'm telling you. You know this. You've been in it. You know it'll change on a dime. So get whatever you got to do. Get some money, dry powder on the side. Just do it. Look, I'm taking a killing. All of you are who are in alts, right? But I still have hundreds of thousands of dollars on the side waiting. I'm still DCAing a little here and there. Is it the smartest move? I don't know. I know it could keep going down, but I'm okay with it. We're all addicted. Let's be honest. The press of a button on Coinbase or Kraken or whatever DEX you're using, we're all addicted to this. It's so easy just to $100, $1,000, $10,000, $50, 25. I do $25 all day long on Benki and now Proppy and all this stuff constantly. 25, because Coinbase One, I don't have to pay commission. There's a spread. I'm constantly doing it. Only invest about 30% of my net worth between crypto and stocks. Yeah, I have a ton in stocks just because, 52. So 401k, I max out my 401k a year. I think that's $30,000. And my company matches like 15. So that's free money. And you got to do it. People who like the idiots in crypto say stocks are boring, stocks are stupid. Well, they don't know what they're talking about. You have to be diversified. Real estate, whatever it is, Metal's got real estate. It's smart. You have to be diversified. Because one day you'll be my age. One day you'll be older. Do you want to have money? You won't if you're only in crypto because you'll, unfortunately, God, I am, risk it like you did and it didn't pay off, but I promise you, get dry powder, it'll pay off. We'll work together. We'll get you there. We'll get you back. We'll do what we can to get you back. It's okay. Failure is what makes a person learn. That's right. Learn, take lesson. I am sorry this happened to you, brother. Yep. Don't get stuck. Yeah, you can get your money back. Trust me, from someone who lost so much money at 29 years old, I got it back. You just have to have a plan. You just have to get the confidence back. Now, crypto can make you freaking crazy. It can make you nuts. So I wake up sometimes, I'm like, why am I doing this? If you don't question yourself, there's something wrong with you. Then you're sick. And these people who are in it, the YouTubers who laugh and this and that, believe me, they're crying behind the scenes when they're looking at their portfolio down $1 million, down $100,000, whatever, down, or Bob from Crypto Angler who's down $5. Never trust someone in crypto who doesn't own any crypto and counts on donations to buy crypto and is a broke ass bitch. Nothing wrong with being broke, but don't look to them for advice. There's nothing wrong with being broke and not having money, but do not look to them for advice on investing. And someone who's not open-minded. If you can't have a normal conversation like we're doing, where it's reasonable, where I don't think I know it. I know what I know until I don't know. And if I don't know something, I will listen. I'm very open-minded. That's why I stopped eating animals. I thought my mom was crazy for not eating animals years ago. Then you learn, right? There's things that you learn. Hold on one sec, my neighbors. Go, 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 go.
Go get it.
Go get her. What's that? I could probably learn a lot from your experience. When you're 29, losing all that money, I lost an amount. It meant a lot to me. Do you have any point of contact to share or no? Just comments. If you comment, I'll do that, or I'll do videos like this, just talking. I'll do no problem doing videos of just Q&A like this. My experience is not unique. I had a job at the time as well, so it didn't, fully kill me. But I did change careers after that because it was pretty brutal. Kamala Harris 2024. Well, I don't like either candidates. I will say something about Kamala. I don't like the way the Democrats handle it. I'm a middle path type of guy, just so you know. I'm not Republican or Democrat. I do not like how the Democrats did not, first of all, they should have forced Biden out a long time before. I don't really want to get political here, but let me just share. But I don't like how they just put Kamala there when there could have been other candidates. That's bullshit. I know a lot of people wouldn't have wanted it because they thought they couldn't win against Trump. But for the Democrats just to throw Kamala in there is bullshit. That's not a election by the people, right? Biden's not dead, so she can't be assumed. She's already assuming she's president and she's our nominee. That's not right. That's not a fair and democratic election. Yeah. Thank you. I'm glad you respect that. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, it should have been sooner. And look, she's been the most silent vice president there is. But, what do VPs do anyways? I'm not a one-issue voter, but we do need someone pro-crypto, right? Here's the thing. Why I did not like Trump at all. And I worked with his organization long before he wanted to be a candidate. Trump Towers in Chicago and all that. He was hard on crypto. Biden's been brutal on crypto. But like I said, I'm not I said, and I was in tears when Biden lost, that Trump lost, because what we're going through. I mean, he's such a scary guy, and wasn't even making any comments during COVID. And I mean, anyone who handled himself the way he is, I mean, the guy's a moron. I'm sorry. He's good but I said, I know he's good for the economy, but I got to think more than that. I got to think of the world. I got to think of how he relates to foreign countries. Well, Biden has not done a great job with that. So I'm starting to get more selfish, and we kind of need a crypto president, because then we can do whatever the hell we want. If we make enough money to do what we want, we don't have to worry about any of this. Now, I could retire right now, but I want to retire in a different way. I will never fully retire. I'll, do charity, which I already do, but we need someone who's going to help us. We've been dragged in the mud too long. I mean, think of it. Think of how we've been dragged in the mud, people who are heavy into crypto. That's definitely brutal. I played with fire and got burned. I can't look at it in hindsight, or it drives me crazy. Yeah, don't. There's no reason to look at the past like that. It drove me crazy for years. It's not worth it. It'll not help you. It will not help you whatsoever. I'm not telling you to move on, but move forward. I honestly don't trust no one. No, you can never trust people who want power like that. RFK would be a wonderful choice for us, and I will tell you why. I've been listening to him for over 20 some years. The companies he went after, Monsanto. I deal with all these companies, all these pharmaceuticals and everything. He's just environmental companies. He even goes after these factory farms. He's not a vegan like myself. He's a hunter, actually, which I said I despise. But He's against factory farms. I mean, you can't imagine. Please watch Dominion. Check it out on my channel. It's, all these zoonotic viruses come from these factory farms and wet markets, and look into it. Just look into it on YouTube. You won't believe what you see. I've been in them all the time. So my daughter's going to be leaving for Indiana, so I need to get home and give her a kiss. Goodbye. You know what I mean? Never take your family for granted. I got a sister who's really sick right now, and just don't take it for granted, please. Life is precious. Vegan, you are seeing what's happening in Venezuela. Oh yeah. Yep. What advice can you give after losing all that? So don't look back in hindsight and drive myself crazy. What else? Extremely hard to deal with. I'll be honest. Okay. What's up? What advice? Yeah. This is the advice I can give you. You can only get better from here. Morning. That if you keep going back to that, if you keep thinking about it, you can't move forward. It'll depress you. And it should. That's normal. But what can you do to fix it? What can you do to get back? Let me tell you, you can get it back. You can. Take it from someone who did it. But it doesn't happen overnight. Like I've been saying for months and months, while everyone's saying this is the last time you can get in, this is the bottom. I've been saying it's not. It's not the bottom. If you can't get in now, don't worry about it. I'm talking about crypto. You have a ton of time. And if everyone listened to me, they wouldn't have been buying over the last 4 months like everyone else said to do. This is the bottom. Oh, a week later. Okay, no, this is not the bottom. This is the bottom. You have plenty of time. You have to accumulate dry powder. You have to not dwell on what is bringing you down. I've been there. In other situations, take money out of it. On my kids growing up. That might not sound like anything to you. It's traumatic when you're a close family and all of a sudden you have $3 and they don't really need you anymore. If you're a dad who's involved and loves their family more than anything, more than themselves, my wife doesn't work. I've provided a living. You have to then come to realization of this is where we're at in time. What did I learn from that? How can I be happy and move forward? And how can I get it back, right? Whether it's a relationship, how can you improve that relationship? Maybe it's on you and you have to stop being an asshole. Not you, I'm talking in generals. Me, I'm a little controlling in the sense of food and other things. And I can be a little grumpy. I changed. I literally changed. Because guess who's getting sick of it? My wife. My wife, who I've been with, since she was 15 and I was 19. 15 turning 16, me 18 turning 19. I'm 52. Well, she's getting a little tired of that from me. So I changed. You gotta focus on the positives. If you focus on the negatives, I promise you, you won't move forward. Am I telling you to forget? No, I'm telling you what is the plan to move forward. That's getting dry powder. That's on you to figure out how you can do that, whether it's selling stuff, whether it's not eating out, whether it's, I don't know your eating habits or anything, but a lot of people spend more money on that, whether it's buying Starbucks every day or coffee or if you drink alcohol, giving up alcohol, that's a fortune. Oh, it's my pleasure. I've been heaviest in depression ever since we lost him. Oh, wow, May. So it's early. Dude. Oh, I'm just walking down the street. I'm sorry, it's very hard to see. I'm just walking in my neighborhood. yeah, yeah, I can promise you, if you focus on the positives, you might not see it right now. They're there. They are there. What did you learn from this? There's always a lesson, and that's not me being fruity go lucky hippie. Okay, it's me telling you the truth. There's always lessons, but what are you going to do to fix it? You have you're healthy. You have two legs. You have a mind. Figure out a way to make some money right now and have it ready for crypto. I'm telling you, you'll get it back. We'll all do it together. Okay, I'm telling you. But you can't give up. If you give up, it's gone. You know. And never panic sell and never panic buy, right? Oh my God, everything's going up. I got to jump in, jump in, jump in. Now, there's always a retracement. There's always a sell off. Okay? And there's always a time when the market comes back. It's just not now. Okay? It's just not now. We have too many things against us right now. It'll change. I promise. Life is hard even for me as an 18-year-old. Man, you're so young. I had a lot of problems with my family. They struggled financially. Even one of them became, oh man, homeless and things like that. But the only thing you can do is move. Yes, you can't wallow in drugs and alcohol. Nothing wrong if you want to smoke a little pot here and there. I don't. Make me paranoid. But you can't escape that way. You have to work through it. There's always a way out. There's always a light. Guess what? When it's dark and you feel like there's no hope, guess what? There's always tomorrow. You go to sleep, there's always tomorrow. I'm not telling you it's going to be gone and your feelings are going to be gone and the troubles you have and the issues you have are gone. No. But maybe you have a different outlook on it. It's one step at a time, honestly. It's one step at a time. Take it from someone who's been there so many times. In one way or another. I'm not talking financially. I've had jobs where, man, I couldn't even get out, years ago, where I couldn't even get out of bed. I was so depressed. Where the bosses were so mean. I've had career jobs where I was the head of, businesses and the upper, presidents and everything would just drill me. I was on call 24 hours a day, dealing with the unions and all that. It was a nightmare. My health declined. So I changed. I actually quit the job. Took a year, almost 2 years off with my family, blew through hundreds of thousands of dollars of savings. This is years ago. I had a new baby. I got healthy. I worked out every day because I'm short and I got fat because of the stress and drinking and eating like crap years ago. So I got my life together and I got my head on straight. I started playing music again. And I spent time with my family and I worked out. Working out is key. You have to work out. You have to be healthy. If your body is healthy, your mind becomes healthy. What you eat is what you get out. I'm telling you. No one thinks of food. Food is medicine. If you're eating cheeseburgers and pizza all day long, depression comes along with it. 100K of profit, but I'm only lost 10K of capital. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm not saying we can get that back. Okay. That's typical what's going on right now. Your typical investor, 100K of profit. Yep. Because you didn't know to sell. Who did? I didn't panic sell. I just get to the level where, yep, I'm with you, max out, and at the pull open, cutting losses. Yep. So I didn't cut losses, but I sold quite a bit on the 3rd of July just to get out, and I took those small profits. They went from, $1 million to barely any profits. But I took all that capital that was in it and deploying it. And it's on the side, ready to deploy for DCAing, but mostly when we're in a true bull market. And you'll know. Get the dry powder. Have it locked and loaded. We will know when it's time. It'll be obvious. So you're a little late. So you don't buy something at $1. You buy it at $1.50. And it goes up to $10 or $5. Who gives a shit? So you leave a little money on the table. Not a big deal, brother. I was vegan 3 years. Oh, Currently going back as well. I also saw where I can. Oh, you're fucking awesome, Australia. That's wonderful. Well, I will be back. I have to go say goodbye to my daughter. I love you guys. I really do. I'm here for you. I'm glad I made this video. For new people coming on here, if anyone comes on, if you want to subscribe, that's great. We'll join the community. I care for all of you. I'm here to help you. That's all I'm here for. Not going to sell you anything. Just my truth as I see it. So I wish you all well. Have a good day. Comment if you need anything from me. And if you know anyone who you think would enjoy this, bring them on board. All right, brothers and sisters.